Welcome back to our Monday teaching. Once again, my name is Lydia Tetolet and I work for a company called Precise Protect, and Precise Protect, we are governed and regulated by FCA, Financial Conduct Authority. Now, today is our 8th topic. Our first topic was about trust funds and will. Our second topic was 40% inheritance tax. Our third topic was the difference between life insurances, because life insurance, we have different life insurance policies in place. Number 4, we spoke about the difference between terminal illness and critical illness. Number 5, we spoke about can anybody and anyone be insured? Yes, they can. Number 6, we spoke about income protection, to protect your income against injury, sickness, or accident. We protect your income up to 75% of your annual income. And then number 7, which is last week, we spoke about private medical cover. Today, we're talking about insurance as scam. All right. I love this topic because this is always the number one thing. Yeah, but insurance don't pay. Is it true that insurance don't pay? Yes, it is true that sometimes they don't pay. Now, let's look at points why insurance don't pay. Now, I always say that cheap is expensive. We all know cheap is expensive. It's common sense. Cheap is expensive. You go and buy something cheap and then it spoils within 2 months. You go and buy another one. It spoils. You go and buy another one. By the time, if you look at 1 year, how much you've spent on this cheap thing, and the person who just bought it expensive once, whatever they bought is still new. It's still there. They still have it. But your cheap one, it keeps on spoiling and you're buying another one. So cheap is always expensive. And why do I say that? Because of sometimes lack of information. Now, everybody is expert in whatever they do. Okay? Now, let people who are expert in insurance do the insurance for you. But what do people do? They run on the internet because they think, oh, I know this, I can do this, I can read, I can do this. So they run and get a cheap quote. And there are things or terms or clause that you probably won't understand as much as you're educated and learned. There are some things you'll not understand. That's somebody's areas of expertise. Let them do it for you so they can give you the better deal or the better policy or the better quote in place. Now, you come to me or you come to any insurance advisor. I do a quote for you and probably I quote you £80 per month. That's for a premium. You're like, oh, that's very expensive. Let me just go and do my .com. You go and do it and it comes out to probably £30 and you're thinking, good, I'm going to pay £30. Not knowing that whatever you've taken, there's so many things that you don't even understand. But you just took the £30. And then now when it comes down to the business, insurance won't pay you. And then who do you blame? The insurance company. Oh, insurance is a scam. No, insurance is not a scam. It's because you did not understand what you've taken. Insurance is not a scam. Yes, we do have some that are dodgy. I'll come back to that as well. So now, I have one of my clients. She's not my client really, but I knew her. She had a son who was 16 years old. This lady passed on. May her soul continue to rest in perfect peace. And when she passed on, her insurance wasn't paid. The brother lost it. He was so upset. But he was upset with the insurance company, but not knowing that it's her sister who withheld some information. So we'll come to that. So one, why is it that some insurance don't pay? One, you have the wrong policy. You have the wrong product. You have the wrong product. You have the wrong policy in place. Now, one, every policy is supposed to be in trust. Your policy is not in trust. That one can actually determine if insurance is going to pay you on time, or take their time to pay you. Now, if your policy is not in trust, and I explained it when I explained in my first video about trust, if your policy is not in trust. So go and check that video. And all my videos are on my Facebook. My Facebook name is Lydia Tet Olet. So you're going to find all those videos there. Very soon I'll put them on YouTube as well. Why is so important for your policy to be in trust? If it's not in trust, trust me. Let's say you took a cover out of 1 million. Your family might end up with 200K. Who are you going to blame? Insurance. But who should you really blame? Yourself. 2, you've taken an insurance policy that says accidental death. You didn't see that because you are busy looking for cheap product, or you've taken insurance with a company that did not explain to you that there's a difference between accidental death and just death. Now, somebody in your family dies and you know that they have insurance. Now you go to the insurance company or insurance. They tell you, sorry, we can't pay. Why? It was accidental death. Oh, but you should have told us. No, the person who just passed on is to be blamed, not the insurance. Now, terminal illness. There's a difference between terminal illness and critical illness. Again, go back to the videos again and check it. We explain that as well. Now, you have terminal illness in place. You don't have critical illness. And then you are diagnosed with you've been diagnosed with the critical illness. You go to the insurance. Oh, I have insurance. You call them. They tell you, sorry, it was terminal illness. Who do you blame? Insurance company. But who should you really blame? Yourself. Okay, now, you have your term. Some people don't check their outgoings, how, if their money is coming out from the account, how much is coming out, and I'm a victim of that. You don't check, so you don't even know if your insurance finished. So because there's something called term, people don't understand that because you're running to take cheap insurance. You don't even think, is there a term? Wow, when Lydia gave me £80, what was included? What was the term? Now you've taken insurance, probably you took 10 years. You don't even know what you're doing. You've done 10 years. Your term has finished, but you don't know that. You still think you have insurance. Now, it comes to that time that now we need to claim. They tell you, sorry, your insurance finished 2 years ago or 1 year ago, or even some few months ago, your insurance finished. Now, but why did you tell me? Whose responsibility is it to know that your insurance is still in place? It's your responsibility. But who are we going to blame? Insurance company. But who should we actually blame? Yourself. Now, we come to something called decreasing. Now, somebody have given you insurance. You've run to yourself or you've gotten the insurance and let me tell you, all these things I'm talking about, I know some clients of mine will be listening, will be laughing because they've been a victim of all these things. They've been a victim of all these things. And I'm not blaming them though. So, you take an insurance. There's insurance called level and the decreasing. Decreasing is always very, very cheap. So probably when I gave you £80, mine was on level terms. Yours that you've checked and is cheap is on decreasing term. So you're thinking, wow, this is cheap. Let me take it. Not knowing that you've taken a policy with a decreasing term. That means your policy is running out as every year your policy is decreasing. So now it comes to claim. Maybe when you took your insurance, it was 100K. By the time you're going to claim it, is only 10K left. Who do you blame? Insurance company. And who should you blame? Yourself. Now, we come to another, and especially when it comes to private medical, we have something called moratorium and full underwriting. Now, you've run and taken an insurance, which is moratorium. What does moratorium mean? Moratorium means you don't even know what you're covered for until when you're going to claim. But that's cheap. So you've run and taken moratorium. And then when you're going to claim, sorry, you're not covered. Who do you blame? Insurance company. Who should you blame? Yourself. Now, that is one. The second one is lack of disclosure. If you don't disclose things, especially your BMI, drinking, smoking, any sickness, it doesn't matter how small this thing is. You think, oh, but this happened 10 years ago. This was just a small operation here and there. Everything that is on your GP's record is going to come out. So do not withhold any information. Don't say I smoke 1 cigarette and you smoke 10. Don't say I don't smoke and you smoke. Don't say I don't drink and you drink. Guys, disclosure is very important. So if anything was to happen here and then they go and check your records and then they find out that you lied about your BMI, smoking status, drinking status, any underlying illnesses, you lied, they're not going to pay you. Who will you blame? Insurance. Who should you blame? Yourself. Now, some providers also, I'll tell you, they're not very straightforward. I have one of my clients who was given hell and hell just for them to give my client their income protection. Now, some companies are very, very cheap. You run and then you see, I'm not calling names whatsoever. You see company A is very cheap from company B. So you're thinking, let me just take company A. You've not checked why is company A cheaper than company B. So when I explained to my client and I said, A is cheap because of this, my client was like, no, it's okay, Lydia, I'm going to take A. And this is a true life story. My client took A because he was cheap. When he came to claiming, my client took income protection. Company A refused to pay my client. Do you know why? Just because when we fill the form, my client said that he's what did he say? He works for enforcement. He's an enforcement officer. But when he now filled the form to claim, he said he's a civil servant. Just because of that. They went on and on and on until my client said, Lydia, I give up. I don't want this anymore. Because some companies, even though they're cheap and we work for them, but I have to explain to you and say, this company, this and this, and when it comes to payment, this company is this. And then it's up to you to decide, you know, I don't care, but I'll go for it. But I'm giving you options because that's my job, because I work for all the companies in the UK. I work for every single one of them, even though I'm under Precise Protect, but I work for all the companies. So I will tell you that this company is cheap because of A, this one is expensive, and the reason why it's expensive is because of A. But then it's up to you as a client to say, no, I don't care. I don't want the cheap one. But then you have to pay the consequences. You have to deal with the consequences. Now, what did my client do? My client ended up leaving that insurance company and coming with going to the number B insurance company that was expensive. Waste of money, waste of time. Okay. So, guys, this is today. Is insurance a scam? Insurance is not a scam. It's never a scam. It is us that don't provide the information, the necessary information that is required. And those information, I always say, is the devil in the details. The devil in the details, because they're small like this. But if you miss it, you miss your payment. So guys, again, I'll say thank you very much for tuning in. I'll see you again next week on Monday with a different topic. Until then, take care of yourself and God bless you.